So we've moved from Delhi and Amritsar. We've dropped also about 20 degrees and we're now in somewhere completely different. I've ever been as cold in any room anywhere in my life last night. People said the Himalayas was cold. Boy, was it cold. I had to actually wear a hat in bed last night and I would have worn gloves if I had them. Morning everybody. Last morning in Amritsar. Another early start this morning to leave the hotel at 6:30 to get to the bus stop for my next journey. It's going to be roughly 5 to 5.5 hours. I'm not going to share with you where I'm going at the moment, but we'll show you some hopefully lovely footage along the way. I have to say, highly recommend the Hotel Exotic in Amritsar. Lucky and Mr. Singh, really great and helpful people. Mr. Singh took me to the Wagah border and showed me some things that weren't on the itinerary, which was really great. And Lucky really bent over backwards to try and help me with various bits and pieces and sorting out a taxi for me this morning to the bus stop. So yeah, highly recommended, and I'll make sure I give them a really good review on booking.com. So I'll catch up with you later and show you some of the footage of my journey along the way. Cheers. So the bus is here, Golden Temple Service Volvo bus. It's really nice inside. This is my first ever Indian bus journey that I'm about to embark on. Just met a really lovely couple, Pete and Penny, from Hertfordshire, who've travelled extensively in India, and I'm actually sitting right next to them, which is nice. Have some company on the journey. Just show you what the bus is like inside. Really nice seats as well. The compartment. And there we are. Wanna move my feet, wanna do my one, wanna move my feet, wanna do my one, wanna move my feet, wanna do my one, wanna move my feet, wanna do my one. Okay, first stop after 3 hours. We've got about 60k left to the destination. Just a place to get some snacks, go to the toilet, stretch your legs. So we've moved from Delhi and Amritsar. We've dropped also about 20 degrees and we're now in somewhere completely different. So where am I? Let me show you. So we have moved 200 kilometres from Amritsar to a town that not a lot of people have heard of, and if you visit India, not many people come to be honest, in the scheme of things. We've come to McLeod Ganj. It is a suburb of Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh. McLeod Ganj stands at a height of 2,082 metres or 6,831 feet, and that's about 2,000 feet higher than Britain's highest peak of Ben Nevis. So I'm going to go out for a walk now. I'm going to take you around McLeod Ganj and what it can offer today, and tomorrow we'll visit Dharamshala on the Skyline cable car, which I'm really looking forward to. Okay, so quick tour of the room. Quite nice actually. Little desk area with TV. Chairs and desk, a table rather. Nice double bed. Wardrobe. And all the amenities. So yeah, it's quite nice. And this is about £30 per night in UK money, so about what, $35 or so US. It might be a 25-minute walk out of town, but I've actually got a beautiful place to stay, so I'm certainly not complaining. Look at that. That in the distance is McLeod Ganj. It's a downhill walk. It's about 1.5 kilometres into town from my hotel. I have to say, I don't think I've ever been as cold in any room anywhere in my life last night. People said the Himalayas was cold. Boy, was it cold. I had to actually wear a hat in bed last night, and I would have worn gloves if I had them. It was absolutely freezing. Morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you? You well? Good. So I arrived yesterday mid-afternoon, had a stroll around town just to get my bearings really. I have to say, this has a completely snow-capped mountains in the distance there. Completely different vibe to Delhi and Amritsar. It's obviously in India, but it doesn't feel as though it's in India. It's a heavy Tibetan and Nepalese influence, and you'll see why when we get into the town. It's obviously famous as the residence of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and I'm hoping to be able to go in to his temple and residence later today. The journey up here was good on the main roads coming out of Amritsar, but boy were the roads rough. As you got closer to the Himalayas, there's an awful lot of road works and renovation of the area being done, and we were shaking all over the place on the coach. It was really rough, and as you can see from that car coming through there, that's what the roads are like the closer you get to McLeod Ganj. So it's not an easy journey, and by the time you get here you are absolutely shattered. The journey took about 5.5 hours to Dharamshala, and then it was a quick, literally 10-minute taxi from the bus station in Dharamshala to McLeod Ganj. But I'm really pleased with the hotel. It was freezing cold last night, but I asked the guys this morning if I could have a heater in the room tonight, and they said that was absolutely no problem. So, and tonight I'll have a warmer room and a warmer night's sleep, and I'm going to have to wear my hat. As you can see, it's quite an easy walk into town. Not so much coming back. It's quite an effort coming up this last part. Most of it's fine, but this last part is quite taxing. So make sure you've got your walking boots on if you do come to McLeod Ganj. There are loads and loads of treks you can do. Sadly, I haven't got the time to do any of them. I was hoping to do quite a famous one called the Triun Trek, but we're only having 2 full days here now. Today's exploring McLeod Ganj and the area, and tomorrow Dharamshala. I'm hoping to get to the cricket ground in Dharamshala tomorrow. The cricket ground is the highest in the world, and this week India play England in a cricket test match. I'll be gone by then, by the time the test match starts, but I'm sure there's quite a few Indian and English cricket supporters in town to actually watch that. McLeod Ganj is also famous. It's where the famous Gurkha Rifles infantry regiment of the army were actually first conceived, and were actually based in the area for some time. But you certainly don't see views like that every day. Look at it. Wow. So as you're walking to McLeod Ganj, I thought I would give you a little bit of background information about the town. So McLeod Ganj is a hill station. So what a hill station basically is a town in the hills, popular as a holiday resort. And it's where a lot of the colonial British came to escape the heat in the times of the Raj. The town itself was named after Lieutenant Governor of the Punjab, Donald McLeod. And Ganj is a Persian word meaning neighbourhood. So McLeod Ganj and Dharamshala became a hill station under British occupation. And in 1959, the 14th Dalai Lama established the Tibetan Exile Administration in the area, with the Indian Prime Minister allowing the Dalai Lama and his followers to settle in McLeod Ganj in 1960, where they've been ever since. Hence the heavy Tibetan influence in the town. Definitely need that wall in this climate. So you can possibly see the sky line in the distance that runs up and downhill between McLeod Ganj and Dharamshala, as I mentioned earlier. And I'm hoping to get that tomorrow when I go and visit Dharamshala, which is that town down there in the valley. I'll explain a little bit more about where we are in a second. Not sure if I mentioned this already, but I was inspired to come here by a YouTuber called Gabrielle Traveller, who I followed for many years. He's my favourite YouTuber, especially travel vlogger. And when I saw his videos of McLeod Ganj, it was a place I definitely wanted to come and visit. And I'm really glad that I had. Delhi and Amritsar are full-on cities, you know, megatropolises basically. This is just another world here. So this other little church is the Church of St John in the Wilderness. It's built in 1852 and contains the tomb of Lord Elgin, Governor General of Canada, and who became the Governor General and Viceroy of India under the British Raj of 1861. But he died in Dharamshala 2 years later and is actually buried in the church. I'm not sure we can get in. It don't look as though we can from the gate, but I just wanted to come and see the church on the way into McLeod Ganj. There was a really bad earthquake here several years ago, and lots of people unfortunately were killed and many were injured, including many of the Gurkha Rifle soldiers. And the bell tower that used to stand up there was demolished. The church thankfully stood, but the rest of the building, the church stood, but the rest of the bell tower itself was actually demolished in the earthquake and was rebuilt several years later. It doesn't look as though we're going to be successful going in. Let's just try this gate just to see. Oh no, it's well and truly locked. It's a shame. I'd like to have gone inside, but the monument has been declared to be of national importance under the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act of 1958. Okay, let's get into the town. Can think of worse places for children to play in the world. As you can see also from the roads, the time is 20 to 10. It's so quiet compared to Amritsar and Delhi. Okay, so we're coming into McLeod Ganj now. Temple. We're so lucky with the weather. We're just coming out of winter now into spring. So there was every chance we could have had snow, lots of rain, sleet, all sorts. Thankfully, it's absolutely beautiful. So that gives you an idea of some of the prices. Chai tea, 15 rupees, that's 15 pence, or about 17, 18 cents. Lemon tea, 20 rupees, 20 pence, or 22, 23 cents. Ginger tea, 30 rupees, 30 pence, about 33 cents. A phrase came to me before I travelled to India called geo arbitrage. Never heard of it before. But what it basically means is people that live in mainly the Western world, I guess, with really developed economies and, you know, a high, not necessarily standard of living, but high wages and high costs, that sort of thing. Geo arbitrage is where people earn their money in the wealthy countries and spend it in the not so wealthy countries. So you can look at that both ways, I guess, but I look at it as a way of helping these not so well developed countries to actually establish themselves and help hard-working people to earn a living. But from the prices of McLeod Ganj and other areas, it really is incredibly cheap. So that's the background information on McLeod Ganj and a walk into the town. Lots more coming from in and around this stunning part of the Himalayas.